just a quick recap of what transpired in the last few weeks. And, first of all, I owe a lot of appreciation, a lot of gratitude to USGS and HVO, to the state, to our congressional delegation, to Darrell Oliveira, great leadership at Civil Defense, Warren Lee and his team at Public Works. We've been focused in our response in ensuring uninterrupted county service, uninterrupted electrical service, uninterrupted communication and access out of Lower Puna to ensure public health safety for our community, for thousands of our island residents. Now, based on projections of the lava flow these past few weeks, and advancement rate has gone from 450 yards some days down to 65 yards or less, or even a stop of progression of the front of the flow. We've seen outbreaks, we've had fires, small brush fires as a result of the flow. But we, based on the projection, the flow would breach, sever Highway 130. We, as a team, looked at our options. And the only option in terms of ensuring access out of Lower Puna was Railroad Avenue, and then subsequently Old Government Beach Road, which is a one-lane road with pullouts. Based on projections from USGS and HVO, that a 2 to 3 degree slope from Highway 130 towards the ocean, that if, and there's a lot of conditionals here, a lot of ifs, but if the output continues to be sustained, if the lava reaches 130, if the lava continues based on topography and advance rate, it would, and depending on the rate of advancement, ultimately sever Railroad and Government Beach Road. The only access out of Lower Puna would then be Chain of Craters Road. We've been negotiating for many weeks now with National Park Service, and this is where the health, assistance, and advocacy of United States Senator Brian Schatz and Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard has been instrumental in ensuring that we work towards protecting national park assets, our natural resources, allowing National Park to serve their mission, and at the same time ensure that we had access out of Lower Puna. And that's what brought us here today. I want to thank Senator Schatz and Congressman Gabbard for coming to our community meeting last night in Lower Puna to listen to the concerns of our residents, to work with us as a team in a very cooperative and collaborative way. And that's where we are right now. So I'll now turn it over to Senator Schatz. First of all, Senator Schatz, thank you for the hard work of you and your team in advocating with National Park, Department of Interior, up to the White House. And to Congressman Gabbard, thank you for your steadfast support of our residents in Lower Puna, County of Hawaii, in partnership with the state. So that's where we're at today. So I'll turn it over at this point. Go ahead, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great.
Great. Hey, I first want to praise the mayor and his team. They have been extraordinarily hardworking and competent, and this just hasn't ended from Hurricane Iselle to this current situation. There are a lot of people who have been working long hours, and we're hoping for a little bit more time with their family, but continue to do the people's work in this really critical time for Big Island residents. Puna has had an incredibly rough time over the last 6 to 8 weeks, and it's not over yet. And so I really want to thank the mayor, the members of the congressional delegation, all of the federal and state agencies for sort of helping to navigate through a really difficult process. And the mayor has been a fierce advocate for the people of Puna and the people of the Big Island and their specific needs. 5,000 miles away in Washington, D.C., it's a little bit easy to have things get lost in translation. And so Billy and I and Tulsi and Maisie have been working very hard to make sure that the needs of the people of Puna are articulated. And so here's where we were. The initial position was that there was going to be no NEPA waiver. It was going to be difficult to, if not impossible, to build a road at all connecting to the Chain of Craters Road. There was flexibility shown, and then we were at a 10-foot road. Further negotiations, tough discussions, friendly, good faith, but tough discussions. And we got to 10 feet, and then we got to 14 feet, and I think it was a couple of days ago we were at 18 feet, and we're pleased to collectively announce that the width of this road will be 22 feet. And let me explain the significance of that. This will be a two-way road. It will allow for two-way access. It is the width of the original road. It is also the size of all roads within the current Volcanoes National Park. And so this will allow for efficient, not fast. We're not looking for people to drive fast on this road, but this will allow for efficient ingress and egress to and from Puna for the people that need it. And we're very hopeful and confident that this road will be built in time. So part of the criterion was to make sure that we complied with all federal and state regulations, but also that whatever we endeavored to do could get achieved in time to maintain vehicular access. And so this is preliminarily a victory for the people of Puna. We have a lot of work to do together, and this is not the only challenge that the people of Puna are going to be facing. So we've got a lot of work to do. I know the engineers and the construction management folks now have to get after it, and there's a fair amount of compliance work to do. But this is a very, very encouraging first step. And because we are going to move forward with a 22-foot road and not in excess of the old easement for the old road, we have a reasonable degree of confidence that we'll be able to successfully pursue federal reimbursement for the expenses incurred. So this is again a preliminary victory. And I'll just say one more thing about this. This is teamwork at its best. This is every part of our government, state, county, and federal. These are civil servants. These are nonprofit leaders. These are community leaders. The folks who work for USGS and the Park Service have been outstanding. And this is not an easy issue. And we're on our way to establishing vehicular access for the people of Puna should that lava cross those three roads. So, Kevin, with your permission, and Mr. Mayor, with your permission, I will introduce someone who's been a partner in this, who represents the people of the 2nd Congressional District fiercely, and with whom we've been collaborating on this very important matter. And someone who I saw on the Big Island this morning and just got off an airplane, Representative Tulsi Gabbard.
Thank you very much, Brian, and to our Mayor, Kinoi, echoing the words that Brian said. Hey, thanks so much for your incredible leadership through this time, especially for the people of Puna. Both Brian and I had a chance to come to your community town hall meeting last night at Puna High School. And, the thing that really makes the timing of this announcement so perfect is we had a full house there. There were probably over 500 people, and they had a couple of major concerns that were all centered around the issue of access. Having gone through Hurricane Iselle and having seen what lack of access can do to a community, this is a community that pulled together in incredible ways. They remain positive and resilient and looking forward to the future and making plans on how to deal with Madam Pele as she comes soon. But really all of the issues that were raised were centered around access. And so this announcement that really became possible today through Mayor Kinoi's strong leadership and his results-driven call for action and the collaboration of all of those here, of Senator Schatz dealing with the National Park Service and those who are on the ground, making sure that the right information got to the right people is what made this kind of quick response possible. I know that this is something that will give a lot of hope to the residents of Puna, that as this situation progresses, progress will be made. As Senator Schatz said, there is a lot of work that still needs to be done. I had the chance to take an aerial tour over Chain of Craters Road earlier today with the fire chief and saw some of the progress that's been made already, saw the bulldozers actively working to start to clear a path for this road, and saw really that this is not going to be an easy task, primarily because there are many different levels of elevation of this lava, that it's not just a flat path that needs to be smoothed out. So the heavy equipment operators will be working overtime, and we've just got to make sure that we continue to provide the consistent and solid support necessary to the great work that's being done by so many on the ground there in Puna. I'll turn it back over to you, Mr. Mayor, or Kevin.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Kev. And thanks for everything. You and Brian have been just awesome. And to Maisie and all of our delegation.
For the media, if you have questions for representative, for senator, or for the mayor, please hit star 6.
Hi, this is Ben Gutierrez from Hawaii News Now. Thanks for joining us today. Wanted to know, and I guess anybody can answer this, is even though it's so preliminary, what information led to being able to make the road wide enough for 2 lanes? I think Congressman alluded earlier today that there's new information that the Park Service could work with. What sort of information was given that allowed this to go forward?
Well, let me just take it, and Billy should feel free to take a cut at this as well, but this is my perspective. I think it wasn't necessarily new information, but I think when it became clear that the 22-foot width was the width of the original road, it became less of a concern from the standpoint of the National Environmental Policy Act. And the fact that the 22 feet allows for 2-lane traffic throughout the rest of the park, I think gave the NPS folks enough comfort to move forward on that basis.
I'll just add one quick thing here as well. I think another recognition on the part of the National Park Service was that this road is not something that will only be used for a very short and limited period of time, that this is a road that has the ability to have a longer-term impact and use as an access point for the residents of Puna.
Yeah, hi, Tom Callis with the Tribune Herald here. So it sounds like there won't need to be a NEPA waiver or anything like that. Is that correct?
We do not believe so.
Okay. And I'll go ahead. What needs to be done going forward? What are the next steps now?
What was that, Tom? What was the question?
Oh, what are the next steps? What needs to be done going forward to make this happen?
Well, we're already on the ground. As we stated previous, construction has begun. Of course, the state of Hawaii, as part of the team, turned an executive order for the state portion of the road over to the county of Hawaii. So that allowed us to proceed with the state portion of the road, which is now a county-owned road. And so our crews are in. We've hired private contractor support. We'll be continuing to monitor the flow rate and advancement rate, and if necessary, the construction will be expedited to ensure that access remains for the residents of Lower Puna. But so the next steps is that construction proceeds. And what was really good news is the fact that the agreement that our senator and congresswoman was able to advocate for was that it's federally reimbursable. Because one of the concerns was early on that if we moved quickly, we might jeopardize federal reimbursement. But we had to make the call that we needed to proceed to ensure access because at one point 3 weeks ago, the advancement rate was significant. But thankfully, with the NEPA waiver, with the county owning a state portion of the road, and with this agreement, 22-foot wide, 2-lane access, and potential possibility for federal reimbursement, it's a win all the way around. So we're very thankful and appreciative, certainly, for the National Park Service, our willingness to look at this road in a light most favorable to the people of Puna, while maintaining their core mission. So all the way around, we're very thankful.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And does the county need to sign any agreements with the park, though, to get the work started in the park itself when that time comes?
I don't think we turned in any agreement. But Kevin, is Warren online?
No, Mayor, he's not online. Tom, I can answer that question afterwards if you like.
Okay,
I can run that down for you.
Appreciate it.